Hey everybody, Jonathan here, and today we're going to be going through an exercise by special request on YouTube, kneeling lat pull and a kneeling single arm lat pull. I performed this on one white spring. You could say two for people who are a little bit stronger, but I think one is enough. We're going to drag the carriage in, kneel with our knees on the back platform, with our knees and legs together against the strap. Hands are going to be holding the handlebar at the back of the carriage. Forward into a position on all fours. Knees are under our hips and our hands are under our shoulders with a soft bend in the elbow. Without arching our back, we want to draw the belly button up and in. Breathe in as the arms go forward. Exhale as we pull inwards until our hands are underneath our shoulders. Although this is a kneeling lat pull, this is a modified ab wheel or wheelbarrow. In a wheelbarrow or ab wheel, the spine is in a diagonal line as the carriage goes out and as the carriage comes in. The only difference from a lat pull is that the arms go out and arms come in, keeping the hips above the knees. But this is also the modification for an ab wheel. Now, it's really important that when we're doing lat exercises that you're telling people to pull in from their lats. I say that this is the bra line for women, and I say the mid-lower back muscles for men. I think that holding the handlebar can sometimes be really irritable for people's wrists and hands. You can bring it on top to the carriage so that there's a little bit more surface area and a little bit more cushion. Now let's talk about the single arm. I prefer having my knees wider apart for a better stance, and I bring my left hand to my hip, and I try to level out my hips with a soft bend in the right elbow. Breathe in as the arms go forward, being pulled by the spring. And then we don't pull in with our hands first. We use our lats to start pulling, and then we use the arms second. Otherwise, it's not really a lat pull anymore. A few cues that you can say is hinge from the shoulders, arms go out, arms come in. You can say, let the carriage take your arms forward, and then exhale as you bring the carriage back in. Avoid bringing the hands all the way in past our shoulders because that's going to dump a lot of weight into the wrist. Make sure that no one is locking out their elbows and arching our back like this, keeping everything neutral or tabletop back with a soft bend in our elbows to activate our triceps. If you were to do this exercise single arm, I would add something in between both the single arm exercises. For example, if we're doing the left single arm lat pull, after this, I would go down into a kneeling crunch. That way we get them off their wrist for a little bit, and then we come back up and perform the same exercise. If you were thinking about doing it block to block, I would let the carriage go, pick up the short handles at the back, and maybe do something like a chest expansion or even a bicep curl. And then when they're done with that, hang the cable back up, pull the carriage back in, then complete the other single arm lat pull. Make sure that we're not keeping people on their wrists or their forearms for too long, so just remember to keep that in mind. The second question that they wanted to know was well lunge, where the feet should be placed because they were feeling it in their hips. Remember that everybody's height is going to change the position of where their foot should be. If we move the foot all the way forward to where our knee is close to the back platform, what we're going to do is we're going to feel more of a pull because we're further away from the springs. So if people feel it in their hip flexor, or if people are dragging the carriage in with their knee rather than coming up through the target foot in the well, that means that it's too heavy. This is what it looks like on the carriage if it was smooth and through the target leg in the floor. And this is what the carriage looks like if someone's digging their knee to come up and in. It's really irritable for the hip flexor. They're working more of the non-target leg instead of the target leg. If you have handlebars, they can turn the handlebars backwards so that it's closer to them than further away. Remembering that moving the foot back towards the front platform will be your modification. We should always make sure that our legs are underneath our hips, never too close together, never too wide. We also have to take into account that if the knee is attached to the carriage is pulling our hip back. So we need to keep the hips squared the entire time. Look for the Lululemon symbol or whatever brand symbol there is on the back of the leggings. And if you see that it's turned out or turned in, look and see if there's internal hip rotation from that one side. Keep sending me your requests. If you think of something that you want to see, I'm pretty sure that someone else does too. Reach out anytime that you want to, and I'll see y'all next time.